For me, being involved as a leader in the chapter, I am able to interact with all of our members and all of our other board members, and that collaboration alone is where you get some great ideas and some great feedback.
Well, every time I go to either a seminar, luncheon, or to one of our board meetings, I always come away with something that I can use.
Their strength is that they pull the best out of you. And they do that through their programs, but largely through the interactive events that they hold, the team building that you get when you're sitting at a table with all these professionals, and they know it, and they get it, and they're going through the same issues that you are, and you learn from them.
IABC has taught me to differentiate more between my audiences and to give them what they need.
The multiple programs that we've had this year, I've really been able to take that information we've learned and utilize it in my day-to-day business.
By just exposing me to a number of people who do a lot of different things.
IABC Columbus is a convergence of ideas, of people, of best practices, and all those things put together have helped me tremendously.
Well, for me, I got to travel all over the place to all the various conferences, the World Conference in New York, Leadership Institute in Connecticut. And so you get to meet leaders and members from chapters all around the world, literally.
One thing I love about being a member of IABC is the people, access to the people in the chapter.
One thing I really loved about being an IABC member this year was having the opportunity to judge the Bronze Quill Awards. Gave me the chance to see things from another perspective and see it from another eye.
It has to be doing this Bronze Quill. I did it last year, and this year I've got to manage it from start to finish. And the members of the board that are on this team are incredible.
The diversity and the different people that I get to meet, and being able to get out of the office and just be exposed to different subjects, get out of my rut.
Well, I'm very new to Columbus, and so it was really a great introduction to the community, and it made me feel very at home to have this set of people that I could go to and talk to, not just about my career in communications, but also to have some new friends.
What IABC does for me, and the reason I want to be a member, is to come to the monthly events or just even getting together for a cup of coffee, because it's moments like those where, for me, ideas really happen and collaboration starts and everything can happen.
Well, I think on the local level, you can always take advantage of members and the local events for professional development. And nationally, there's a directory that if you ever needed, if you were working on a project in a different part of the country or the world, you can contact members in that part of the region.
IABC has so much to offer on the international website that I hope to use more of that in the future, looking at all the various resources there, from speakers and programs and even the examples of Gold Quill winners, and looking for ideas and inspiration. There's so much to be found on the international website.
I'm learning every day from the people I'm interacting with at IABC, going on their website, the workshops that are being offered, the classes, even following people's Twitter accounts. I'm meeting so many new people, and that's really the best part of IABC, and that's the resources. I think it's my colleagues that I'm meeting and expanding my networks and just learning.
I love the Columbus chapter because of the connections that you make with the members. They're brilliant people, and you get the opportunity to learn from them.
In a couple weeks, I'll be going to the IABC World Conference, and I'll get to network with people from all over the world and also go to their seminars and things like that. And I think bringing that back and bouncing those ideas off of our current members and hopefully future members, I think that'll help me really in my creative process.
And one thing that IABC, especially the Columbus chapter, does really well is we pinpoint a topic that our members can use in a more strategic way. So it's not just a broad topic. We look at, measuring social media instead of just social media as a whole. And I think that's really beneficial, and that's what I'll look for in the future with IABC.
Amanda, as president of IABC, you've brought your wit, humor, and energy to your role as president. I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Amanda, I would like to tell you thank you. I came to you about a year ago and wanted to get involved in the IABC, and you trusted me enough to have me jump right in on a board level, and I've had such a great time. You're a lot of fun, you're very smart, and a hard worker. Whenever we needed anything done, if someone wasn't able to, you jumped in no matter what your schedule was, no matter how many other responsibilities you already had. So I really appreciated that and looked up to you for it. So again, thank you.
You're able to find the right person to get the job done, and I'm looking forward to carrying on the success that we've had with IABC Columbus in the coming year.
Amanda, I want to thank you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in IABC Columbus. You really took me in. Basically, my first day in Columbus, asked me if I wanted to be on the board, and a year later, here I am, and I've loved every minute of it. So thank you for your leadership and your friendship.
Amanda, you're the whole package for me. You're creative, you're bright, you're inspirational, you're a terrific leader, and you've brought this year to a tremendous finish, and I thank you for that. You're kind, you're understanding, you're everything that anybody could ever ask for in a leader, and I am proud to have served on this board side by side with you. Thank you.
It's said that when all is said and done, more gets said than done. But as a nationally recognized communicator, successful businessman, and father of 4 children who, like he, have struggled to overcome a learning disability, Cameron James has said much and done more. A lifelong resident of Columbus, Cameron's is a story of hometown boy makes good. But his success didn't come without hardship and struggle.
My earliest memory of school was the last few seconds of the last hour before summer vacation in first grade. And my teacher, Mrs. Wooster, decided at that point, she told us, you can't get out of first grade until you can spell your last name. So then she started going around, and each kid had to spell their last name, and I had to sit there waiting to fail. And when she got to me, I said something like, I don't know how to do that, and I remember her turning red, and she sort of charged at me and called me stupid in front of all the other children.
Unknown to Cameron or any of the teachers he would have throughout his school years, Cameron was dyslexic. While school would remain a challenge, he went on to graduate from the University of Cincinnati and pursue a career in broadcasting, working in radio, television, and finally returning to Columbus to found Mills James Productions with his partner, Ken Mills.
You know, I like to think of Columbus as being one of the most caring communities in the world, and it's because of people like Cameron James.
Cameron's made a career, made a company out of communicating. He's got a sense of integrity and honesty and interest in whoever he's dealing with that comes through loud and clear.
Making the message happen, all that backroom stuff that makes the message go, that's Cameron's area. That's what he's really excels at.
As successful as Cameron has been in helping companies and advertising agencies communicate difficult messages, it was his daughter Nancy who would present him with his greatest challenge. Then in second grade, Nancy was diagnosed with dyslexia, a learning disability that would eventually be identified in Cameron and all 4 of his children.
I remember my father sitting me down at the dining room table, and he sat across from me and he said, "You know, I think I have what you have, and it's really awful, but we're going to do something about this."
We tried everything we could think of. We started a parent group. We started a newsletter for parents who have children with disabilities. We brought in national speakers. We produced PSAs that we had on television and radio. We testified before the state school board, the Senate, and the House. We were trying to do everything we could think of to change things for children who have learning disabilities.
The frustration we felt after trying for many years, where we just didn't think people were listening. And then we did what Congress mandates people to do. If you want to protect your child's rights, you have to do it through the legal system. So in 1996, we filed a reimbursement lawsuit against our district. And when the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals found in our favor, it set case law that not only impacted our child, but all children for generations to come. And I think that's what we're most proud of.
It's people like Cameron that really are the backbone of this organization, reaching out into communities, helping to disseminate that information, reaching out into public schools, working with private schools. Cameron's just been a tremendous asset to this organization.
Cameron James has been an advocate for his own children, and he's been an advocate for children in his community and an advocate for children nationwide.
It was always amazing to me that at a time when we were trying to get a business off the ground, when we were deeply involved with so many issues, that in the background, Cameron was dealing with all these issues with his children, with the issue of learning disabilities. And I think when all was said and done, and people look at what both Cameron and Nancy have done for people who learn differently, they're going to be considered heroes of our age.
There's no doubt in my mind that my father is a warrior because he always fought for my right to have a chance to read and write whenever it came down to it, whether it's through the public school system or anybody else that would get in my way of learning how to do it.
My father could have gotten all of his children through school and then finished, but he continued on, and he still does today, and that's what's great about my dad.
Every dyslexic should one day be able to achieve anything they'd like to achieve. And they shouldn't have to struggle the amount that my dad has. But he has shown us that dyslexics can do this.
I think whenever something impacts your life, then you recognize that it's important to do something about it. What my child needed didn't exist in Ohio. Today it does. Today it does. And that's what's important.
You far